Header up.
Rob and Chris, they're on the air. Yankees, Mets, they're everywhere. From the Bronx to Queens, the diamond gleams. MLB talk, the ultimate team. MLB is the place to be. Rob and Chris with the pitch you'll see. Swinging stacks and stories fly. Baseball talk that's amplified.
And welcome to a new episode of NYMLB Talk with your host Rob and Chris as we cover the Mets, Yankees, and all of Major League Baseball. And remember, if you're watching us right now on YouTube, hit that sub button and that like button. We would appreciate it. And also, if you want to follow us on Twitter and also on TikTok, it's at NYMLB Talk. You could follow Rob at Armaraska. You could follow myself at CP7NY. So, Rob, we got a returning guest who everybody was asking us to bring him back, and we finally got him back. So let's introduce him and let's get going.
Yeah, former Major League Pitcher John D'Acquisto, who, John, I'm telling you, after your last appearance, people were saying, we love that guy. What a great appearance. And they kept saying, when's he coming back? When's he coming back? So you're back, and we're so happy to have you back. Thank you.
Well, thank you for having me back, and thanks to the fans that they liked what they saw and heard, and I'm glad to add some more to the table.
There you go.
That's great. Chris is going to start us off. Chris, why don't you start us off with John's new book? John just wrote a new book, and this time it's not a baseball book. It's a fiction book, which he's really into, and I can't wait to read this one also. So go ahead.
I'm going to put it up so this way people see it. And John, you could let us know, like, how did you go from writing a baseball book, which is amazing, and then you go to writing this science fiction? Or please explain.
Well, I just had my transmission re-overhauled, so it's easy to shift gears, you know. Well, I love sci-fi. I really do. And I said, well, you know, there's all the same sci-fi is the same thing. Well, I wanted something to be different, but yet there's a catch-all to this book. This book is based off of me, yours truly. Okay. And what it is an ex-Major League Baseball player who turns into being a biomechanical engineer and scientist and loves physics and applied physics. And what he does is he sits there and creates this time machine that he's really unaware that he did. And all of a sudden, he's caught in a vortex. And the different levels, there's 40 chapters in this book. And there's 40 timelines to suggest what is actually going on with the book and how the scenes develop and the different characters that come into play, the futuristic Dr. Jaxon Hale, the time traveler that runs into himself, 60 years back and 60 years forward. There's a lot of twists and turns, but it's pretty exciting. It came out really good. I was actually surprised that this flowed better than the book Fastball John when I was putting it together. And this is almost 200 pages in a sci-fi novel.
That's amazing. Like how, when you think about it, it flowed better than a baseball book. And you're a baseball player. So that had to be something. Could you tell us the process?
Well, the process is the outline. The outline, I had a really good outline that I had from before. So I kept that and then followed the outline to a T. And then it was easy to put together in the storyline. The storyline came out really, really good. And I was so taken by it. I had to sit back a couple of times and go, wow, that's good stuff. And you got to say, is it good stuff or is it good stuff to you? You have to determine as a writer, is it exciting for me or are people going to like it? I don't know. We'll find out. But people have already bought the book. It just came out. and I've got people asking for, signed copies and stuff. So I've got those books. They're not even, the ink's not even dry yet, and they're already ordering. I got pre-order out already. So, it's been interesting, that, the thing that really caught my eye on the whole situation of the book is when he goes into the time machine and says, do not open. Do not open. That's like telling a scientist, open it.
Yeah.
That starts it right there. The do not open. And I see it right here. You got it shown there. The do not open is the catalyst to the whole darn book. And you'll see it through the book as you read. Don't open that. Do not open that. I'm warning you. And it's like he's a typical ball player. Do you think he listens to anybody, a typical ball player? No.
No.
And that's what the book is based off of. It's the attitude of a baseball player as a scientist and how he perceives himself and how he's trying to save the world from being destroyed by this time machine that was developed by himself.
Yeah, that sounds so interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. So yeah, that's where it is. I please buy it and try it. As the old saying goes. And I'll get a couple of copies for my good friends that are on the screen right now, signed by me.
Oh, that's great. We would love that.
That's the link right there. Yeah. Up in the corner, that QR code takes you directly to the Amazon page, or you just go on Amazon and just search for the book, search for John, and you could get this book, and you could get the other book, the baseball book that you wrote.
Yeah, they're linked together. Also, they're linked together. The books that I've written, so you can get it. Just click my name like you can right there, and there's Fastball John. And it comes up, a books that I've written, and then you'll get, I think the other one's right down below it. I'm not sure.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so they're linked together. You can buy it as a combo if you want. So
there you go.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. And I look at this and go, oh my God. If somebody would have told me I was going to be a writer, writing books and stuff in sci-fi, and writing a baseball book, I'd say, yeah, right, sure. No.
Chris is. How great is that, though, Chris, right? That everything he's done, not all right, making it to the major leagues is rare. Like, I forgot what the percentage is, but
0.01%.
There you go. Okay.
And not only did you make it, but you lasted over a decade in Major League Baseball. So that's even goes on to even less.
18 years, including my minor league career.
There you go. Yeah. And you know what? And how about the odds of that lasting that long in Major League Baseball?
I think it's 0.00001.
Right. Exactly.
Before we get to the baseball stuff, how did you come up with the cover for the book? I like the cover, John. Your artwork's great.
I drew it, of course.
Yeah.
The vortex in the book, when you read the book, you'll see the vortex is a circular vortex that goes around in circles, And so I said, well, that's got to be in the background. And then the woman faintly in the back is actually, and I don't want to spoil the whole book, but Dr. Jaxon Hale was married to the woman in the background. Okay. And he couldn't save her in a past timeline. So he had to go back into the timeline and go forward in the timeline to try to save her. It's really a fun book to read.
I love anything with time travel. I love, obviously Back to the Future and, all the classics. So I can't.
The Time Machine. My God, it's my favorite. Rod Taylor.
Yeah. Yes, definitely a time machine.
As a kid, I was just, it was cool.
Wells. Yep. I loved it. But all right. So guys, you got to go out there and support John and check out his book, or both his books. Now, this is going to be a series, right?
That is more to come. there'll be other books coming out on Dr. Jaxon Hale Time Traveler, and then there will be on the bottom below my name. There's going to be a subtitle below that. It's going to name the new book edition. That's going to be, this is about, say, like this is a time traveler. This is now to the next echo, or to the next standing timeline, or traveling through space, traveling through black holes, things like that. The books will have different sub meanings to it and storylines to it. So it'll start spinning off, but in the same direction. So it's him being the hero of the whole situation in the book, and how he comes across different things in different timelines, and how he goes back in time, forward in time. So, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to do. Hopefully I'll get lucky and someone will take it as a TV series or something.
I was just going to say that, John. This sounds like one of those books that's going to easily be turned into a TV series, a movie, something, right? That's what type of book this sounds like.
Exactly.
Yeah, it Sir drones a lot. You're right. As of being in the major leagues wasn't impressive enough. Congrats on the new book.
Thank you very much, Sir Drones. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. God, that's so nice.
So definitely check out both his books. I can't wait to see it. Before we get to the baseball, Chris, you have the new painting that John posted. I'd like you to post his first one for 2026. That's the Golden Gate Bridge one.
Okay.
Yeah, so there it is. Look, John, that's great. You want to talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, sure. My favorite city in the world, next to where I was born and raised in San Diego, but San Francisco, because of the Golden Gate Bridge and the surf crashing on the rocks, and how the fog would just engulf the whole bridge, and you would just see the two towers sticking up, as the fog came through. Yeah. And it's like the city that the mystique, the cosmopolitan atmosphere, just really, it grabbed me. And the people were so friendly and classy. And, it was like, and the music culture, oh my God, don't even tell me about the music. The Grateful Dead, we had bands coming through, Crosby, Stills and Nash. David Crosby was in there, with writing stuff with Neil Young. I mean, there were so many great groups in the 70s. Grace Slick and the Airplane. I could go on for hours, but it's like, my God, the culture just grabs me. So, being that I was drafted number 1 by the Giants, my first year to be a player for them, that will remain in my heart. That picture will always stick in my head. It's one of the most classic pictures of the Golden Gate Bridge that you'll ever see, how it aligns with you're now entering into San Francisco.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I haven't been. The last time I was in San Francisco was 2011, and so I haven't been back since then. But I loved going there. You're right; it was beautiful. I loved just looking at the bridge from the park. It was amazing. So I know what you mean. Chris, you got it. All right, let's switch to baseball. Oh, I forgot about
the other one you did too, right?
Yeah, that is my version of the Black Marlin. Okay, the one that got away. This was done in 2024, I believe, and I'm a big fisherman. I like to fish. I like to go for marlin and sailfish and all kinds of tuna and stuff like that when I get a chance to go. Right now, I haven't had a chance, but when I was thinking about this and I said, God, I could just throw a picture of a great black marlin coming out of the water, the one that got away, and God, it's just, boom, there it is. And paintings like this, they're one of a kind, man. They come across, you get them out there, you put them up, and you express your feeling of what it's like. You want the person that's going to own the pitcher or see the pitcher that's going to say, "Whoa, look at that fish! Look at the power of it. Look at everything that it's displaying." And it got away. My God, it got away. And did you know that marlin, when they're firstborn and everything, and they start to grow, they are really just blue in color, and then the blue marlin, and then they develop into black marlin the older that they get. I didn't really know that until
I didn't. I didn't know that. Did you, Chris?
No,
No.
did not.
Yeah. Into a black marlin, and I'm going, oh my God, that's pretty cool.
That's got away like Pete Alonso.
Pete Alonso got away too. Yep.
Yeah, he did. That's a good segue. That's Bill the Mets puppet. He's actually a Muppet. We've had him on the show a couple times. We've interviewed puppets and Muppets, so that's who that is. But Chris, you want to start off the baseball with John now?
Yeah, listen, I as a rookie, I know you gave us the story the last time you were here. I know a lot of people didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Your rookie year, your first day, you were right next to Willie Mays, right?
Well, yeah, I got called up to spring training to start in spring training. I was 19 years old, and we always started in Casa Grande, Arizona, and for 2 weeks to get the bodies in shape and get the stiffness out, and then we went up to Phoenix to play the games against the Cubbies and other teams that were there, the Seattle Pilots at the time, which turned into the Milwaukee Brewers. But when I drove my car to the back of the lot at Francisco Grande, and I got all my bags out, and I was walking into the clubhouse area. I thought it was actually the training room, which not a good way to start off, your rookie entry. And Mike Murphy was standing at the door when I walked through the training room with Leo Hughes and Harry Jordan and Al Wilder, and all the trainers were there. And they said, "Oh, your locker room straight ahead." So I walk in, and Mike Murphy caught me at the door, and he says, "That's your locker over on the left over here. I'll put your bag over there for you. You can get squared away, but I want you to meet somebody." And I said, "Well, who's that?" He goes, "That's gentleman over here. Oh, and by the way, those lockers are all his, all 8 of them." And I said, "Okay, who is he?" It says, "It's Willie Mays." I went, "Oh, Willie Mays. Okay." So I walked over and I said, "Mr. Mays, it's really nice to meet you." And he goes, "Well, it's nice to meet you. Are you the number 1 draft pick?" And I said, "Yes, sir." "Kid that throws the ball through a car wash." "Yeah, I bet." "Without it getting wet." "Okay." "Meet you." And I said, "It's really a pleasure to meet you, sir." He says, "Don't call me sir. Please do not call me sir." "Yes, sir." "Nope, don't call me sir." And just go back and forth because I was nervous as hell. I'm meeting the great Willie Mays, my God. And he says, "Do you play golf, son?" I said, "Yes, I do, Willie." He goes, here's some golf balls. "You like Titleist?" "Oh, love Titleist." "Yeah." He goes, "Well, open up." These balls said Willie Mays on them. Like, I'm going to play with Willie Mays' golf balls. Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
He says, "Oh, don't worry. I got plenty of them. Just enjoy yourself." I go, "Oh, okay." He says, do you have a shoe contract, a glove contract?" I go, "What's that?" "I got to have a contract to play baseball? I have my glove. You don't want to see it. It's pretty old. It's from my high school days. But anyway," he goes, "No, I'll get you a glove." He gets up. He didn't have his shirt on. He was cut like Hercules. My God. The man was like, he had not a 6-pack. He had a 12-pack. And he was just built. He was just a statuesque human being. He walks around the corner and he gets this guy to come over, this older man with horn-rimmed glasses. In fact, I'm wearing my horn-rimmed glasses in the honor of this gentleman that I'm going to mention. His name was Lefty Gomez. Lefty Gomez, the great Yankee left-hander. Okay? And he goes, John, this is Lefty Gomez. He's the vice president of Wilson Sporting Goods and the representative to our team. I said, oh, Mr. Gomez, it's nice to meet you. I'm really proud and honored to meet you, sir. And he goes, well, I'm proud to meet you too. What do you want? Fast back, open back? What do you want? I said, I'd like an A2002. And what size shoe do you want? And Willie goes, you're going to do it the way we do it. They're kangaroo shoes. So you got to get them a size, it's almost a size and a half smaller. Put them on your feet, stick your feet in a bucket of hot water, let them soak, and then go out and shag balls in batting practice. I go, what?
Right.
So they were showing me all the tricks, and he was like, John, go, you got that locker down there. He goes, everything's fine. You know, just let me know if you need anything. I'm here, to help you out. So we had what we call batting practice, live BP, where the pitchers would throw against the hitters. And I don't know if I touched on this last time. I may have, but I think I have to repeat this. This is a funny story. Mays was the first one in the cage. I can hit this kid. I can hit this guy. Yeah, no problem at all. Yeah. And Charlie Fox is in the back of the cage, and Bobby Bonds is back there, and they're all watching. And I threw the first pitch right by him, and he looked at me, and I said, "Is it too fast for you?" He goes, "No, it's fine. I'm just gauging you." Next pitch I threw right by him. He swung and missed. Next pitch, threw it right by him, swung and missed. Next pitch, threw it right by him, swung and missed. He goes, timeout. Walks out to the mound, and he goes, "What's this say on my shirt?" I said, "Giants." "What's it say on your shirt?" And I go, "Giants." He goes, "Oh, you're smart ass, huh?" I said, "Yes, I am." I said, "What's the matter? You can't hit me?"
Whoa.
Oh, it was on. It was on.
That's great.
Not right now. I don't plan on hitting you. I plan on catching the fly balls that go out the outfield. And I said, "Well, I'm just having some fun with you, Mr. Mays." He goes, "Don't call me Mr. Mays. Call me Willie. We're teammates." Boy, you could throw. And they're all laughing in the background. And then Bobby Bonds gets in, and he says, "I can hit this guy. Yeah, no problem." No, he had the same problem. And Charlie come out, he walks out to the mound, and he goes, "Yes, and that's right. That's why they call me fastball." Yes.
And there you just answered Sir Drone's question right there. And he also he wonders what your pitch would be clocked at with modern radar technology.
With modern radar, about 108, 110 at least. At least. I know I worked on that stuff with MLB. So anyway, I know how they do it. But Charlie came out and he says, "Okay, kid, that's it. You're done. Off of the get off the field. You're making everybody look bad." I said, "Well, I hope I do that when I pitch against other teams." And he goes, "Yeah, I hope so too." So that was my introduction to Mr. Mays, and he took care of me, man. He really did.
John, outside of you and like Nolan Ryan at the time, there wasn't many guys throwing 100 miles an hour back then. Now it's much more common, but back then there really wasn't, right?
Well, but you got to remember, Chris, the way they're doing it now and how they're calculating the pitches is from the point of release. So the arm travels at its fastest point at the point of release, because that's when everything you've got coming up through your body, all the kinetic chain sequence, everything's coming through your body. At the point of release is where they're measuring it from right here. So it'll be not far away. So you're going to get a higher reading. I've never seen so many guys throw 98, 99, 100, 105. I'm going, come on now. And then I asked the guys, where are you gauging this? And they said from the point of release. I said, that's a bad gauge. Right. That's why you still see a lot of clubs have radar guns sitting behind home plate because they want to get a true reading what it is across the plate. Well, you have what you call a sustainable fastball. And the sustainable fastball, as it's thrown, should read a couple of miles an hour difference less across home plate than it is from the point of release. So it comes out to be 5 to 8 miles per hour difference. Okay. So if a guy's throwing 100, he's really throwing 92, because you got to ask yourself, how in the hell are these guys hitting balls that are over 100 miles an hour? And there was a study done by Stanford University that said the eye can't pick up the speed of a fastball. It looks like a stream of milk. It looks like a white line after 95 miles per hour. And that makes a lot of sense, because I've seen Nolan Ryan throw his fastball, and that sure as hell is what it looked like to me, as a stream of milk. So where do I hit it? At the beginning, in the middle, or at the end? Where is it? And you just can't pick it up that fast. And these guys are like teeing off. And, it shows that they have the capability to train the hitters now to respond. The eye reflex, hand-eye coordination goes into effect. They teach them these types of drills so they can pick up the ball faster.
Yeah, it's just amazing. I know what's going on now, and that's probably what causes a lot of these injuries. But I want to get to something, because we didn't get to it last time, and I don't want to forget about this. But you had Mike Schmidt's number, didn't you?
I did. He hit 188 against me, and I struck out like 8 times in a row. And
tell us that story about what happened in Montreal.
We were playing the Phillies in a tight game, and I was warming up in the bullpen with Stan Bonson, and very seldom you'll see two right-handers warming up together. It's either going to be, if they tie the game, you're in. If we keep the game where we're ahead, I'm going to put Stan in, or vice versa, whatever he wanted to do. Dick Williams was at that point. Did not know that I struck out Mike Schmidt 8 consecutive times. Wow. So I'm going like this. I got my hat off. I'm going, me, put me in, Schmitty. Hey, if I walk him, we're still ahead. He's not going to hit me, so put me in. And he's not going to hit a home run. And, didn't happen. He put Bonson in.
Yeah, Danny Gallagher, the Expo historian, told us that story when we had him on the show. And I wanted to ask you last time, but we didn't get to it. But Dick Williams didn't have an idea. Who was the pitching coach, though, for the Expos?
Galen Cisco.
And Cisco didn't have an idea either?
Nope. No.
Wow.
And they didn't have any advanced scouts that had an idea either. When they got me to come over to Montreal, you would have thought they would have had a dossier on me. Completely.
Really?
Right.
You would think, right? Okay, who's John face? How's John do against the Phillies? John did very well against the Phillies, period. You should have started him in a game, but Dick was the kind of guy that went with his horses. He went to the dance with these guys, and he stuck to it. And I respect him for that. I'm a guy that came in, to help out with the strikeout here and there, or pitch, 3-4 innings, or get a save when Woody Fryman was hurt, But I just knew it. When I went into his office afterwards and Schmidt hit the home run that put him ahead by 1 run, And I'm sitting here going, damn, I could have gotten him out because I knew it was at the end of the year and Schmitty was getting tired.
Yeah.
And I had really good fastball. My fastball was hopping. And he tells me at the end of the game when I go into his office, I said, why didn't you put me in? Don't you know I struck out Schmidt 8 times? He's only hit $188 against me his whole career. And the 8 consecutive times was this year. He goes, why didn't you tell me? I said, yeah, I'm going to come up and tell Dick Williams how to run his ball club. You know what
Right.
you're going to tell me? Yeah.
Yes.
Danny Gallagher knows what he would have told me too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Danny, when Danny told us that, I said, John's coming on. This was the week before he came on. I said, John's coming on the show next week. I have to ask him, but we just got, we didn't have enough time. We never have enough time. But that's a great story. I had one other thing, Chris, before you ask him something. I just wanted to know, since you started with the Giants, how did you feel when the Giants traded you to the Cardinals?
Well, first of all, Rob, I requested to go.
Okay.
Because the manager that was there was Bill Rigney, and he was kind of tough on me. Said a lot of things in the paper, like I just came off of Tommy John surgery, okay? And he was saying stuff like ball 1, ball 2, ball 3, ball 4, ball 5, ball 6, ball 7, ball 8 in the paper.
Wow.
And I went into his office, not like my counterpart did with Dave Bristol, but I told him, I said, look, if you can't handle me coming back off of Tommy John surgery, I don't have any options left. I told him, I don't have any options. And I'm not going to agree to go down to AAA baseball. So you either release me, designate me for assignment, and I'll take my free agency. Or you can trade me, because I know there's people out there that want me. So he said, I'll see what I can do. And he did. He honored that. Jerry Donovan came to my house in San Mateo, and he knocked on the door at 7:30 in the morning. I don't know why these guys first right out of bed, let me get a cup of coffee first before you drop a bomb on me. And he comes to the door and he says, we traded you, Johnny. We traded you to St. Louis. I said, oh, okay, that's cool. So I got good Italian restaurants over there too. Okay, I'm happy with that. So I get traded over to St. Louis, and shortly after that, Pete Falcone got traded. Mike Caldwell got traded with me. Okay, because it was a John Curtis, Vic Harris, and Willie Crawford for John D'Acquisto, Mike Caldwell, and Dave Rader. How do I remember this stuff?
That's great.
Chihuahua. It's like, so I had my catcher, whom I knew wasn't going to catch unless I started a game, because Ted Simmons was the catcher.
Yeah.
And I really liked throwing to Ted. He was something else, boy. He was a great catcher. Plus, he was the right guy to have sticking up for you when Vern Rapp came out to the mound and wouldn't let me finish my no-hitter.
Oh, yeah.
Which was a classic thing. I had the whole team on the mound and the umpire, by the way. And they're going, John, you're out of the game. And I said, well, that doesn't make any sense. Get off my mound. Well, I got the whole team here, right? So we got 9 guys here against you and the umpire. And the umpire goes, leave him in the game. He's throwing a no-hitter. And Vern Rapp was the manager, and he turns the umpire, who I believe was Lee Wire, and he goes, you need to mind your own business. He goes, watch it. I can throw you out of the game.
That's right.
And then we all started laughing, and then Simba told me, Simmons, he goes, come on, John, do what he wants. And then I look, as I'm walking off the mound, I turn to the right. I see Bob Fontaine, the general manager of the San Diego Padres, sitting behind home plate. Did I not know where I was going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Knew right away, where I was going. It was a showcase game, and he didn't want me to look too good throwing a no-hitter. We ended up throwing a combined one-hitter. Me, Buddy Schultz, and Al Rabowski.
The Mad Hungarian.
There you go. Everybody knows him.
Go ahead, Chris. I know you wanted to bring something up.
John, with the impending work stoppage, most likely after next season, you went through the 81 strike. Like, give us some insight into kind of like what the union is doing now to kind of prepare for what probably will happen next off season, or what do you think they're going through? And also, do you feel like a salary cap can help the league, not help the team? Like, let us know your thoughts on the whole situation.
Well, first of all, as salaries have escalated to a point, I know it's a big issue for Major League Baseball to look at that closely, or at least as you see in a lot of contracts that are being done right now, they're big league contracts. Some of them are a smaller amount up front with incentive bonuses attached to them. You've seen these models come up lately. They started last year, and they're coming up again. A lot of what you have is they rank 5 guys on every team to be the franchise players. Those franchise players are the ones that get the guaranteed contracts, unless a club will initiate a guaranteed contract for anybody that they want coming in. So the 5 key players are the guys they look at. What MLB is going to try to do is cap the salaries. They're going to try to cap the salaries and make it according to your tenure, how many years you've been playing, what your rank is on your WAR numbers. They're going to try to make it more convenient for the owners, so that ownership, doesn't have to go and pay a lot of money for somebody that they're not sure is going to turn out for them. And the whole thing is I had a talk with a guy the other day. It was more like a chat. We were talking about minor league systems, and a lot of clubs have just disengaged themselves from their minor league players. And it's really sad, because you see these kids that are coming up that are talented, but what's happening, guys? They're like 25, 26, 27, 28. All of a sudden, they go into Rule 5 and they're lost to Rule 5, or they're not even being thought of. And you get a guy that comes in that's making $200, $300 million or $150 million, that this kid could, if he had a chance to play in that position, would be able to really show himself. It doesn't happen. So, yeah, you could have, like the Mets, have one of the best minor league systems in baseball, right?
Right.
Okay. But where are they? Have you noticed that David Stern has started to bring minor leaguers that are capable to play in the majors? He's starting to add them to the roster.
Yes.
You've seen that happen. Mm-hmm. This is a new trend, and I hate to say it, but I recommended that for David Stern in a report I did on LinkedIn. And I'm not saying maybe he read the report, maybe he took my advice, but maybe he did, because that's exactly what he's doing. And he's using that talent he's got, instead of spending a lot of money buying somebody to replace somebody he doesn't have. Bring in these young kids that can play, give them an opportunity. If you need somebody, then you don't, and say these kids pan out. They'll pan out faster because they're more energetic. So you're going to look to a lot of uncertainty in this collective bargaining agreement, because I, for one, I'm not against the players making money, because I was a player who made money. And that's what I fought for these guys that are in this situation now. But it's a different situation for them where they're not talking $1 million contracts, which is, I was fortunate enough to get one, but they're talking about multi-million-dollar contracts. And how long a period do you give this player to play on this team? Is it 10 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years? They're going to cut that time frame down to 5. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. They're going to cut it down to 5, but the money's going to be about the same. It's going to be, say, for 10 years, you got a $300 million contract. For 5 years, you're going to get 150. You're going to get an upfront bonus, and you're going to have incentive clauses tied to your contract.
Oh, like a max contract, like say the NBA has.
Exactly. So that's what they're looking to do. And the players, of course, they're going to get locked out. Yeah. I know it because Harper just flat said, at one point, and it was public knowledge, when the commissioner came in to the Phillies clubhouse to talk about stuff, he says, you need to get the out of our clubhouse now if you're not going to talk about salary caps.
Yep, that's right. So how long do you see a long lockout, John? What in your opinion, what do you see after next season?
In my projected crystal ball that I have?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. You guys always put me on the spot, but it's okay.
Yeah. It's just for fun, John, right?
This is fun. This is no fun. Pressure. I have an idea. Idea. And what I see is it's going to be a long lockout because there's a lot on the table. There's a lot on the table to the pension. The pension plan has to be totally redone. They're stuck on level 9 for the past 30 years, for crying out loud. They've got to increase the levels one more level if they want to be fair to the players. And also the cost of living increases that were supposed to be given to level 8 lower and level 8 upper. Well, level 8 upper never got any cost of living increases at all. And where everyone else was getting cost of living. And you know why? My opinion? We were the 81 guys. We were the guys that went to battle. Owners don't like us. They don't like us. So they're going to screw us if they can. And they've been doing that.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, that's on the table. Medical benefits. They're going to be talking about that. They're going to be talking about the process that after you retire from baseball, you're supposed to be able to have you can be involved in the MLB pension insurance program, which is 100% coverage, but it's also comes out to be about $3,600 a month. It's very expensive. Well, when a player retires, how many guys do you think can afford $3,600 a month to pay for their family to be covered on the insurance plan? That's got to be more realistic and more in line. So they're going to be talking about that.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's almost over 40 grand. And we know superstars, of course, they could afford it. But you have your basic player who didn't make as much. That is a lot of money.
Exactly. It's a lot of money every year. And it's a lot less for an individual, for a player to be, alone, instead of having a family. He can afford it. But I don't know many guys that when they start getting to the end of their career are alone. And it's like, there's a lot of things that have to be seen and drawn into, and that's where the CBA does all of it. And these things about the ghost runner and, other things that are pertaining to the speed of the game and, the pitch clock and, injuries, what's being done about the injuries. They had a meeting. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but they had a meeting about behind closed doors that if you were a biomechanical analysis firm and you weren't if you weren't involved as a vendor, you could not participate in any Major League Baseball operations because you weren't allowed. You didn't pay money to become a vendor. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yes.
Okay.
You there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where could you hear us, John? I think he froze. Chris.
Yeah, maybe. John, did you freeze or you were there?
I got you, Rob.
Oh, okay. All right. Good. Yeah, you froze for a second, but yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. Good. Yeah. That. Yes.
I just don't see Chris. That's all.
Okay. But you see, Chris, he doesn't see you.
But anyway, I can still talk.
Go ahead.
Right.
We could hear you.
Yeah,
we could
we
see
hear you. John.
So when, I don't see you. Okay, as long as you can hear me, that's fine. So what they're saying is,
There
Nope.
you go.
We
I know
lost.
we're
We
gonna lose
lost.
him
him.
eventually. All right, he'll come back.
Yeah.
But that's an interesting thought right there about the strike, and you
Yeah.
know, like we don't think about that either. So
It says his device is not
okay.
connected. Okay. There.
it's like
There
a
he is.
monopoly, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. There. We
When you
we
think
lost
about
you
it,
for a minute,
it's
John.
like monopolizing the situation.
Yeah. Definitely. All right. Listen, there's a
Okay.
couple. I have to get to
I can
a
go
couple-
back and say what
Go
they're
ahead.
doing is
Yeah.
saying if you're not.
Oh.
Yeah, he has a bad. I guess he has a bad connection right now because he froze. Well, we're waiting for him to come back.
Yeah, you keep freezing, John. That's okay.
John, you
You're
can
okay
come.
now,
You
I
can
think.
come out and come
Okay,
back in if
I
you
got
want.
you now.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. We got you. Chris, I can't hear him. Could you?
Okay, let me do
Go
that.
ahead.
Okay, let me see how I can do this. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes.
we could hear you
Can you
now.
hear me?
Yes. Yes.
It's probably MLB shutting me up. Who do
I
that?
think
Probably.
so. I think
That's
so.
a good
Let's
one.
see
That's-
here.
You're giving us too much information, John.
Okay. Okay, I got you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good.
I'm giving you too much information. It's MLB's cutting in. They're
Yeah,
cutting
yeah.
us out.
I think so, John. We might have to. We might
Now
have to
you're
stop
back.
talking about the strike and everything.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't care.
This is secret
You know.
information you're giving us.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so we'll switch because I have a couple viewer questions that they
Sure.
texted in before. Charlie from Brooklyn wants to know what it was like to play with a young Dave Winfield.
Oh my God. You talk about a guy that was the word awesome, 6'6", 245.
I think he froze. Oh man, all the good stuff is coming. He froze. All right, well, we're waiting for John to come back. Chris, what do you think about the Milwaukee Brewers' new hitting coach?
Oh, Falcon.
You got me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, we got you, John.
Okay,
don't know.
I'm going to come out and in again.
Yeah,
Okay,
good,
give that a
do
shot.
that. That's a good idea.
Let's see.
So, Chris, we'll wait for John. Vogelback's going to be the hitting coach for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Right. Yeah, I seen that. Listen, I know you guys had a bad experience with him, but listen, the guy knows. Listen, right? How many hitting coaches out there are great hitters? Right.
Yes, you're right.
That's the positive side to this. But obviously, we seen, firsthand how good or bad of a hitter he really was.
How to hit.
Yeah.
And couldn't tell you how to hit.
Right. I think that's the thing.
Yeah. I wish Vogel. I wish him good luck with the Brewers. Not too much good luck though when they're playing the Mets.
Up until the playoffs, and then when
Yes.
when you guys play each other.
Yeah. I don't know. I think John is frozen.
I think so too.
So, well, we'll
I
wait
wanted to ask him too, if we get him back, another question I want to ask him quickly is, other than Willie Mays in that first year, did he ever get starstruck after that? Or did he get used to seeing some of these, future Hall of Fame players or Hall of Famers did he meet throughout the years? Like, did he ever get starstruck again?
That's a definite good question.
Hopefully
let's bring him back in.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully he's all right now.
I think we got to stick to painting and discussions.
Yeah. Isn't it coincidental how things started getting cut off when I started talking about the CBA?
It really is. But Chris has a good question for you. Go ahead, Chris.
John, other than when you first came up, you met Willie Mays, obviously starstruck. Anybody would be starstruck being Willie Mays, but did anybody else? Did you ever get starstruck by anybody else after that throughout the years, or did you finally get used to oh yeah, he's a major league ball player, he's my teammate or whatever?
I did get starstruck with Hank Aaron.
Oh yeah,
and that was like, oh my God, and I'm facing him. I struck him out. I faced him one time and struck him out.
Wow.
And this is a story in its own right. Hank Aaron was up at the plate, and Chris Spire ran in, and he goes, "What are you going to throw him?" I said, "What do you think I'm going to throw him?" "Fastballs." He goes, "Are you out of your mind? He's the best fastball hitter in baseball." I said, "I don't care. Go back. Go back to your shortstop." First pitch I threw, and I knew Hank, because Marichal told me that Hank Aaron would always measure you, gauge what you were throwing. I threw a fastball. It was about 95, 96, a good fastball. And Hank looked up at me. And I said, okay, so I got strike one. Now, next pitch, I said, I got to put a little more on it. I'm going after him. I think I can beat him. I got a good fastball today. I think I can beat him. So I wind up and I throw the ball, and the ball goes like this. And he goes, oh my God, right in his wheelhouse. Boom, ball went over his bat. Strike two. So I said, oh, he was right on that. My goodness, I better think about this. So I threw an 0-2 pitch on the black. Tom Gorman was the umpire. You remember old Irishman?
Yeah, I do. Yep.
Great guy, super umpire. I threw it right on the block, and he goes like this: ball. Rookie is not going to strike out the great Hank Aaron looking. Right. It goes to Hank Aaron. If it's that close, I'm not giving it to the rook. That's just the way I am, and that's the way it'll be. Okay, fine. Mm-hmm. So I look over at Spire. Spire's going like this.
Right. Just what else are you going to do? Right.
Yeah. Go get him, kid.
Yeah.
So I said, okay. So I got my composure, got on the mound, wound up, and came right over the top. And I mean, I gave it everything I had. That ball left my hand. My mechanics were just perfectly synced. And that ball just jumped out of my hand and went, boom. And Hank swung through it and missed it. He took his helmet off, tipped it to me, and he said, "Welcome to the big leagues, rookie." And he put it back on.
That's a great story.
I went, wow. Are you kidding me? He tipped his hat to me? I'm just a rookie. My God. And right then and there, I knew I had a real good fastball at that point.
No doubt about that, John. I mean, really. All right, we have a question. Did you like wearing the old Padre uniform? That was one of a kind.
Actually, yes, I did, Bill. It was we had three different kinds, because we had white pants with the brown top, all white, which was really classy. And then we had the canary yellow ones. The Canary Yellow ones were insane. It was like Gaylord Perry always picked the uniforms of the day. And on Sundays, he would say, Sunday's a day game. It's going to be Canary Yellow. We want to shock those players with this bright yellow uniform out there.
That's great.
Playing against the Golden Arches, boys. Here we come.
McDonald's, Ray Kroc. That's right.
It was hilarious. And
Chris, you want to ask John something next? Because I have something I want to ask him before we go. So,
was there a batter that you never got a chance to go up against that you wanted to?
Ooh, good question. No, I think I've faced quite a few. You know who? Roberto Clemente. Yeah, because of what happened.
Yeah.
I was hoping I would get a chance to face Roberto Clemente because I admired him. And, and having admiration for a guy like Clemente is, it's a special feeling you have when you see the talent that this man just reeked of talent. Okay. He had a strong arm. He could run like a deer. He could hit, 321 with his eyes closed.
Yeah.
And stole bases and he ran the bases, with authority. I mean, authority, high kicking legs and just tearing up the field. But I have a picture that I did. I got to show this to you guys if I have a second.
Okay. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Listen, since you froze, if you want to give us 10 more minutes, we would love it.
I'll give you 10.
All right. Sound good, Chris?
Sure.
Okay, good.
No, I'll give you 10.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's great.
That's beautiful.
You're just
Thanks. And Roberto Clemente.
Yep.
just amazing.
Okay.
Just amazing.
It looks like a photo.
Yeah.
How amazing that looks.
This is an oil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Acrylic oil paint. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just beautiful. I'll tell you, that's just amazing.
Well,
Thanks.
That's why I wanted to be able to face him,
Yeah.
and I faced him in spring training.
Oh wow.
Thanks for showing us that.
You're welcome.
That's great. I had a question. I actually had two because I wanted to bring something up. But first, did you ever since we are a Met and Yankee show, did you ever get a chance to have conversations with Tom Seaver?
Yes, I did. Not many, but I did. I got to pitch against Tom quite a few times.
Yeah, I saw you pitch at Shea Stadium, by the way.
Yeah. I was like, my God, I was 6-2 overall against the Mets.
Yeah.
And Seaver, I pitched against Seaver when he was with the Reds. I locked horns with Tom Terrific in Cincinnati, and Tom went 6 innings and threw shutout ball, and I went 7 innings and gave up 1 run. And the 1 run I gave up, I hit Rick Auerbach in the head, and then he stole second, and Gino Tanachi threw the ball into center field. He went to third, and Pete Rose hit a sac fly. Run scores. That's the way it goes. But, he was unbelievable. And he was, Tom was just a character. He liked to joke with people,
Yeah.
He came up to me and he says, "So kid, you had some tough luck, huh? You shouldn't have hit Auerbach in the head." I go, "Oh, geez, Tom, come on now. God, if he wouldn't lean over the plate so much, he wouldn't have got hit in the head." He goes, "You pitched good. You pitched good." And he says, "And I respect every game that we've been involved in. We like you on the other side, by the way. We like you." And I knew that from Pete Rose, because Pete told me if Sparky ever gets a chance to get you, he's gonna snag you, because you could win 30 games with this team.
Yeah, the big red machine. Did you like when you came into New York? Did you like pitching at Shea Stadium?
Yeah, I did. I did. I love pitching at Shea because of the history that was there of the '69 Mets. When I was a kid, it was a year before I was signed to my contract. So, knowing about Gil Hodges and all the fantastic uh, Met players and coaches that were on those teams, Ron Swoboda,
Yeah.
say that 3 times,
Yeah.
okay, Don Clendenin, Eddie Kranepool, they're all gone. They're all
Yeah.
gone, man. Everyone's gone. Mays is gone. I mean,
Yep.
geez, and I'm sitting here. I turned 74 on Christmas Eve.
That's right. Happy birthday. You did. I
Happy
saw it
birthday.
on Facebook. Yep.
Thank you very much. So, but what I do now is I turn my numbers around. Now I'm 47. So it's just buying me a little extra time. Next year I'll be 57 instead of 75. So I'm trying to buy a couple more years extra. But I look at it as it's baseball. Life is baseball. So right now I'm 74. I'm right in the middle of the seventh inning, and I'm waiting for the organ to play. Take me out to the ball game, okay? Because then when I get into my 80s, if I'm fortunate enough, that'll be the 8th inning. So we go to top and the bottom. And I get to my 90s, that'll be the top and the bottom. So, I have to go extra innings to get to 100.
Well, let's hope that you do.
Yeah, let's hope that happens.
There's a question from Bill. Do you remember any favorite places to eat when you came to New York back in the day?
Rusty Staub's place.
That's it. Yep. Everybody loved Rusty's place.
Rusty's. I love Rusty Staub, man. John, you coming out to the restaurant? Yes, sir. I'm coming out to the restaurant. You kidding me? You're going to show me how to make your ribs so when I get home, I can make them. He goes, yeah, sure. No problem. Love Rusty.
Yeah, Rusty was as a kid. Rusty was my favorite player. I love Rusty. Chris, do you have anything? We got a couple more minutes with John.
Just what where do you stand on the Pete Rose dilemma with the Hall of Fame and also with the steroid users on the Hall of Fame? In, out, where do you stand?
Steroid users. There were other things being done in the early years that we all know about. And because it was legal back then to use.
Yeah.
But, we don't recognize it now as performance enhancing drugs, but they were. And, when you come into the new era of what guys are going to be doing to get that edge, you have to kind of say, okay, I never used them. I swear, if I used PEDs at any point in my life, I might kill a catcher. Think about it. It just makes you strong. And I was strong enough to begin with. I didn't need any help. But you look at this and you say, okay, the Pete Rose thing, that's gambling. Yet Major League Baseball is involved with gambling. I've been a proponent of Rule 21 for my whole career. I am not going to second guess that proponent of Rule 21. I don't think gambling belongs in baseball. Right. I think it gives a bad message to the young people coming up in the game. And that I think that Major League Baseball should step back and really look at just doing things just because they're making money. It's not about money. It's about the legacy and the continuation of that legacy for the children to see. Let's give them something good to go by instead of promoting gambling and having these situations happen like Clise and Ortiz. Yeah. They might get 20 years in prison, because they were, trying to pull something. Things like that have to stop. We've got to start thinking about have some consistent values about your life, in baseball and make that projection to the kids that are going to make baseball continue on. not because of a dollar.
Yeah, we agree. Like Class A, me and Chris discuss this all the time. We just don't get it with Class A. I mean, premier relief pitcher for what? I don't get it.
Money too.
I couldn't understand it. He makes more than enough money. Okay.
Right.
I mean, are you trying to do it to take care of your family or something? Is there something behind it that we're not seeing? Hell, he makes enough money to be able to take care of his family. But I just think they do it for the pure joy of doing something, you know.
He probably just likes to gamble.
Maybe that too. See if I can beat the odds. Well, I know I'm beating the odds when I have control of the odds, you know. Let me go that route. And you can't let the players have control of the game, you know, to control the odds of making bets. So what did MLB do? They cut those, what do they call them, those place bets, the place bets that they made.
Yes.
Balls and strikes and things like that. Yeah, they cut those off. So
we lost Chris now. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the gambling thing now. I don't know. But I wanted to ask you one more. There he is. I wanted to ask you in November we lost the great Randy Jones.
Yes.
You were friends with him, right?
Yes, very close.
Yeah. Any memories, anything you'd like to share about that before we go?
Randy was a great teammate, and he was a very good friend. And Randy kind of looked after me when I came back, and he gave me what I needed in friendship to make me feel that they all knew what happened and they knew what type of person I was because of Randy Jones. And, you know, God bless him for that. He didn't have to do that, but he did. And, you know, and Randy and I used to do the Randy Jones strike zone together. And we had some great fishing trips in Sitka, Alaska. And then we had one at one of our favorite Barrett Lake, you know, in San Diego. And oh my God, we couldn't catch a thing. And Randy's in the boat and I'm going, what are we going to do, Lefty? He goes, I don't know. He goes, here, try this jig. I threw the jig out over in the reeds and reeled it in and bang, I get a fish. And I'm reeling it in. He says, we're going to use this fish for the next hour. So it's TV, man. What do you expect? You got to look like we're catching something. So we'll put it on my hook. I'll put it in the water and then we'll make it look like it. So that poor fish got a workout. But anyway, he was a character. He was a good dude. He was a good dude.
Yeah, we got to see him as a Met, the end of his career, where he wasn't Randy Jones anymore. But it was always great to see him pitch. But our time is up. It flew by again, Chris. Yep. With John.
John, we could do 3 hours and it would feel like 20 minutes.
Oh, 3 hours would be like a half hour, man.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I'm gonna put up the book again.
Okay.
Just so people see it. And remember this QR code up there in the corner. If you click that, you take a picture of it with your camera on your phone. Yes. It'll take you directly to it.
Yes.
Or just go to Amazon and there you go. Just put in the name of the book or
the title and my name, or put in my name. The book will come up. Yep.
Yeah, can't wait to read that. But once again, John, thanks. We love having you on. We love talking baseball with you. It's so much fun. It's really so much fun.
Well, that's what baseball is, fun.
It definitely is.
And you guys are so great because you ask such great questions. And I love doing your show and coming on and chatting with you about baseball because I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. And I'm not afraid to hold back. I'll tell you what I feel about things because you need to know the truth of what's going on, certain things. Okay?
Yeah, we our show, it's just a couple of guys, friends talking baseball. That's it. You know,
That's right.
and that's what everybody likes to hear. But anyway, all right. So John, you have an open invitation. You know that anytime you want to come on, we want you on. All right, guys. Chris, we're going to be on next Friday. I'm not sure if we have a guest yet. I'm working on something, so we'll let you guys know during the week if it's just me and Chris or if we have a guest coming on Friday night at 9 p.m. But thanks, everybody. We had a pretty good audience again. And thanks, John. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Thanks, guys.